Well, we've been asked to provide a little more information on how do you blend one of these symbols we've been working on into the gCADPlus environment. If I scroll out a little and I click on a circle, I've drawn a circle and I've put it on a layer called Plant Construction. I've also put a point in the center, also on a layer called Plant Construction. And within the symbol itself, every entity is on a layer called Plant Symbol. What I now need to do is to move the symbol and pick it up by the center and then just move it to 0, 0. So we now have the beginnings of a block symbol. I think we might just undo that and make this just a little larger, like so. You can always make it smaller if we need to. The other thing to adjust, I think, is the point marker, and that's done by Format, and Point Styles is currently marked with an X through the point. We want to have a plus sign through the point, and I'll find that a size of about 1.5% of window height makes it work pretty well. Because what we're aiming to do, we'll move the symbol here now into the center of that circle. Now let's zoom extents. So we have the symbol that's overlapping just a little because we sized it. So we now have a symbol that matches the gCADPlus standard. We have a circle on a layer construction, L construction. We've got a point, sitting in there, also on that layer. So if, when we use this symbol, we simply insert it, and then we can turn off the construction layer, and we've just got the symbol, or we can turn the symbol layer off, and we're just left with the symbol, and that's what we would use for the construction team. They do not need an elaborate drawing, whereas the client may. So that symbol now will match the gCADPlus standard and can be used in lots and lots of drawings. Well, at this point, we would normally turn the background to background color, Format, and it's View and background color white. And we make it a white background because when we eventually blend it into the gCADPlus library system and say we pick standard, can you see as we move down through here, we get plants with a white background. The ones that are stored in the file with a dark background, and I don't have one here, won't show up as nicely. So at this point, we can put that to bed. We can actually save that file and incorporate it into gCADPlus at a later time. I'll make a different movie showing how you've developed just this and you want to put it in your copy of gCADPlus and do it without reinstalling gCADPlus. The next thing to consider is let's give this a try. Let's see how it does work in this environment. Now, we can insert, we can go to blocks, and we can add from another file, and we've got our prunus should be here. And we open it up, and it's got the little block within a block, and we'll click and OK and insert it into the drawing. When it comes in, it should be anchored at that point there. We pop it in, and then we select it, right click and scale, click here. Remember, it's a 1 meter canopy diameter, so we could just say we're designing for a 4 meter canopy, and there we are. Our new symbol shows. Now clearly, as we originally were working with this, the flowers were very much smaller. But what we're trying to do to the client is illustrate what that symbol might well be, as we've done in the case of Agapanthus. If you come in here, we've got some splashes of blue, but the symbol is just a representation of what the flower might look like. But that's how you give your client much more information, by showing the photograph of the real thing, but there's the symbol sitting in there. You could edit this on the fly, and you could scale every one of these down if you so desired. Like so. It's very easy and perhaps a bit fiddly, but we can close it. Now, I don't know that it will happen on all of the other symbols, but if we wanted to print this out for the landscape team, we could just say, I'll turn off the plant symbol layer, and what we should be left with when we turn on the construction layer are just a series of circles, and you can see there's the Agapanthus around there and this new symbol. In this drawing, we would simply go to Format Point Styles and cut that to 1.5, and we will put a plus sign through the point there, and we can print that off now to our for our construction team. What I do notice, can you see in here, some editing is needed for that symbol of the Agapanthus. So let's do it and grab these, and we need to pop them on the plant symbol layer. And that will remove those, close the block. So there we are. We are now happily working with that symbol in the gCADPlus way. Well, I noticed that we didn't quite tidy up that symbol for the Agapanthus. Let's dive into it and edit the block again. We'll need to turn on the symbol layer, and we'll pick the flower and we'll edit it, and the outer zone is on the plant symbol layer, but these three polylines are on layer 0, so we put them back on the symbol layer and close, and now turn off the symbol layer, and we're left with a suitable symbol for the landscape team. So it takes quite a bit of effort to get your symbols working the way you want, but I think it's worth the effort.